Deep beneath the ocean exists an incredibly hostile world. An icy world plunged in eternal darkness where the pressure is phenomenal. It's the largest habitat on our planet, the abyssal realm of the ocean. Yet some animals that breathe air and nurse their young like us spend a large part of their days within this shadowy world. They are marine mammals. These animals continue to amaze scientists.
The more we study all marine mammals, the more we realize that we really don't know a whole lot about them.
Scientists are now discovering that the depths reached by these ocean-dwelling giants are far deeper than they'd ever imagined. Thanks to advances in technology, they are now able to reconstruct their incredible underwater adventures and shed light on the way they survive. The ocean is home to animals that were once terrestrial. Marine mammals. Animals that, like their ancestors, still breathe air. And are warm-blooded. Bottlenose dolphins are one of the most famous members of the family. There are 129 species of marine mammals, including whales, the largest animals that the Earth has ever known. A family so vast that some species have only been discovered in the last few years. Scientists knew little about their mysterious lives under the ocean, where they went and for how long, until now. From the shallowest to the deepest, science reveals their incredible journeys deep below the surface. The mighty sperm whale seems like a likely contender for the title of champion diver. It is the largest toothed predator on the planet and lives almost exclusively on squid that it hunts in the abyss. With a body measuring up to 60 feet and weighing up to 45 tons, it has to eat thousands of pounds of food a day. Until recently, scientists have only been able to observe sperm whales during their brief visits to the ocean's surface, or when they've beached, but they spend more than half their time in the icy, dark world of the ocean's depths. To find their way in the dark, sperm whales don't use their eyes. Instead, like all toothed whales, they rely on their internal sonar. Using a system of nasal passages, it echolocates. In other words, it emits clicks and receives their echo in the lower jaw. Even in total darkness, the whales see with their ears. Their huge brains translate echoes into something like an internal video. Scientists long wondered whether the sperm whale ever reaches the deep ocean layer where the sunlight never penetrates, the abyssal zone, yet they had no way to find out. But in April 2015, a group of scientists had an amazing encounter in the Gulf of Mexico. Their remotely operated vehicle came face to face with a gigantic deep-sea wanderer 2,000 feet below the surface. This underwater encounter was completely unplanned, pure luck, while the scientists were trying to map the ocean depths. But it was the first visual confirmation that sperm whales reach depths of more than 2,000 feet, twice the height of the Eiffel Tower. Advances in technology have recently opened a window for researchers to discover the incredible depths that marine mammals are able to reach. Off the coast of Africa, on the island of El Hierro, the foothills of the volcanic island drop straight down to the abyss. These waters are home to a little-known marine mammal, the Blainville's beaked whale. Similar in appearance to dolphins, this toothed whale with a curved beak spends most of its time underwater. Males have a highly distinctive appearance with overarching jaws and 2 forward-facing teeth. Until the end of the 20th century, our only knowledge of these animals came from beached or dead specimens. 20 years ago, scientist Natasha Aguilar discovered that several dozen whales sheltered in the bays at the foot of the volcano rather than living out at sea. This meant she could access them more easily, allowing her to catalogue and name more than 50 individuals. In order to learn more about their sensitivity to noise pollution from ships and military activity, she plans to equip the whales with highly sophisticated diving recorders called D-tags.
The D-tag is attached to the animal's back with suction cups and goes with the animal on its deep dives. With it, we can find out how they vocalize to find food, how they communicate amongst themselves, how they move, and even how much energy they consume searching for food.
These revolutionary markers should allow Natasha to track the abyssal adventures of these mysterious whales. But first, she needs to attach them to her elusive subjects. Natasha has developed a cooperative technique. Land-based lookouts scan the water to see the whales coming up to breathe.
Chloe,
What?
I have a group of animals.
What can you see?
There are 2 Blainvilles,
Okay, 2 Blainvilles,
2 adults.
2 adults.
Red, ground base calling.
Yes, red receiving.
Okay, Natasha, we have a group of animals, 2 Blainvilles.
Okay, we're heading over.
As soon as there is a sighting, Natasha and her partner Patricia have fewer than 5 minutes to place the tag while the whales surface. Success. A male has been tagged. When it surfaces, the tag signals its location to Natasha's team, who track it day and night, on land and at sea. After more than 24 hours, the tag is released, and Natasha can recover it from the water. Thanks to the precious data gathered by the tag, Natasha can quickly reconstruct the Blainville's beaked whale's movements and sounds with incredible precision.
Before it goes under on a feeding dive, a Blainville's beaked whale rests on the surface for 5 minutes, filling its body with oxygen, because they store oxygen in their muscles. It dives, and at around 1,500 feet, it starts clicking to echolocate for food.
Thanks to the D-tag, it's the first time ever that we've been able to listen to these whales and shed some light on this dark world.
When the whale comes across the prey that it wants, it raises the frequency of the clicks. It goes from an acoustic photo to an acoustic video, which allows it to follow its prey more precisely and catch it. The whale surfaces when it has eaten enough or when it no longer has enough oxygen. It only stays at the surface for 2 minutes before it starts a series of recovery dives at depths of less than 650 feet.
The whales actually rest at a depth of 650 feet, taking several 20-minute naps to recover before their next deep dive to feed. While hunting, the male whale dove to depths of over 3,000 feet, more than half a mile. That's 1,000 feet more than the sperm whales seen in the Gulf of Mexico. But around the same volcanic island, Natasha noticed the presence of another similar beaked whale species, the Cuvier beaked whale. It varies from its cousin by its larger size and its more prominent melon. As part of her study on the impact of sound pollution in the ocean, Natasha also hopes to place tags on these elusive animals. The problem is that once they have surfaced for less than a minute, the Cuvier beaked whales disappear for anything from 30 minutes to 2.5 hours, which suggests they have remarkable diving capabilities. The D-tag will be able to reveal all if Natasha manages to place it.
There it is. Here in El Hierro, we've tagged Blainville's beaked whales and Cuvier's. But the tags slip. They have algae on their skin, so the tag won't stick to their bodies.
In El Hierro, the Cuvier beaked whales are keeping their maximum diving depth secret for the moment. But their diving duration is similar to that of a much better-known animal, the sperm whale. The sperm whale can also dive for up to 2 hours. Its whole anatomy is designed for diving for long periods. With each breath, we humans replace only 15% of the air in our lungs, while sperm whales are able to renew 90% of their breath. Its muscles are rich in oxygen-carrying proteins and can store 10 times more oxygen than humans. As soon as it leaves the surface of the water, the sperm whale's metabolism slows down to save oxygen, and its blood is concentrated on vital organs like the heart and its enormous brain, the largest in the animal kingdom. Its chest cavity is flexible, so it doesn't snap when the pressure mounts. Its huge head, a third of its body length, contains a yellowish wax called spermaceti. It is believed that whales can vary the density of this substance at will. By restricting the blood supply, the spermaceti solidifies, acting like a weight, and allowing the whale to dive deeper and with less effort. When it resurfaces, the sperm whale reheats its spermaceti, causing it to liquefy until it is lighter than water. To avoid decompression accidents and the bends, the whale is able to collapse its lungs while still sending oxygen to the brain. So the sperm whale can stay underwater for up to 2 hours. But the maximum depths that it reaches when it dives remain a mystery. D-tags cannot be attached to sperm whales because their skin is constantly exfoliating. Far from El Hierro, researchers use a different approach to learn more about their diving abilities and study their movements. In the Indian Ocean, off the coast of Mauritius, a team of scientists from the Moby Dick Association scans the horizon in search of sperm whales. Their technique is to anchor tags on the sperm whales' backs. At the same time, they perform a biopsy, taking a small sample of skin, which allows them to identify each tagged animal by its DNA. For a comprehensive study, they need to tag and identify several sperm whales. Luckily, the deep, calm waters surrounding the island have become a gathering place for large schools of sperm whales. By coupling the geographical information with bathymetric data, they will be able to evaluate the maximum depths they dive. In order to place the tags, scientists, like the whalers of the past, take advantage of the sperm whale's weak spot, their limited field of vision, particularly behind them. The reason is simple. The sperm whale's eyes cannot turn in their sockets, so they can't see a boat approaching from behind, allowing the scientists to tag the first whale. But the other sperm whales are suspicious, and a tactical chase begins. The sperm whales that have been tagged will reveal their movements for up to 2 months. The tags placed reveal the 6 sperm whales' amazing diving capabilities to depths of over 4,000 feet. The male whales stay around Mauritius for the duration of the study, but may head to southern latitudes afterwards. To the land of the albatross and constant winds known as the Roaring Forties. Thousands of feet separate these liquid mountains from the ocean floor. Only male sperm whales are found at these latitudes. In this no-man's land, the main attraction is fish processing ships that spend several months at a time on the high seas. These groups of males wait for the ships to lower miles of long lines into the water. When they are hauled in, The lines bring a highly prized resource in the Asian market: Patagonian toothfish, also known as Chilean sea bass. Fishermen suspect the sperm whales are thieves, stealing the huge fish from lines that extend more than a mile below the surface. But they have never been caught in the act. Chilean fishermen have come up with a protective system using nets to safeguard their catch, but the sperm whales continue their thievery. The fishermen estimate that they lose up to 30% of their profit to predators.
Damn sperm whales.
To confirm their suspicions, they're working with a marine biologist who is studying the whale's behavior. Gaëtan Richard is on board for the next 3 months.
By using long-line fishing boats, we can deploy our acoustic devices like this one, which is a recorder and 2 hydrophones. So this device allows us to record the sounds that sperm whales make. What we're interested in are the echolocation clicks. When the animal clicks, the sound arrives at our device, first at one hydrophone and then at the other. Since we know the distance between them and the speed of the sound in the water, we can then work out where the animal is in relation to our device.
The long lines are placed at a depth of between 2,500 and 6,500 feet, a depth that sperm whales are capable of diving. To find out why the whales appear around the fishing boat just as fishermen haul in their catch, Gaëtan places accelerometers on the lines just above the hooks. These devices can detect and record the difference in tension on the lines. A rise in tension could reveal a thieving sperm whale. By combining the accelerometer data with the hydrophone information, he can reconstruct the sperm whale's modus operandi. As an opportunistic hunter, it saves its energy and dives to the shallowest depth possible. When it returns to the surface, it grabs the main line from the fishing boat between its jaws and runs them along the length of the line to unhook the fish that it will then gather up as they drift in the water. The whales only dive to the sea bottom to feed from lines that are in shallow water. They can then place their jaws in the mud to unhook the toothfish. Surprisingly, the whales are rarely seen within 1,000 feet of the surface, for a very good reason. Near the surface, they are in competition with a fearsome predator: killer whales.
Damn killer whales.
Killer whales, or orcas, are often called the wolves of the sea. Like their namesakes on land, killer whales work in packs, and like sperm whales, they too have learned to steal toothfish from fishermen's lines. Since they operate at shallow depths, it's possible to see their behavior by using a camera attached to a sample of longline. The result speaks for itself. Killer whales are perfectly adapted to this new resource on the high seas. Yet until recently, these animals were believed to be mostly coastal predators. In Norway, they congregate every year to hunt schools of herrings that gather near the coast. But in recent years, scientists and fishermen in the roaring 40s have reported the presence of numerous killer whales far from land around long-line fishing boats. This particular group of killer whales, which can be distinguished by their dorsal fins, has never been observed near coastlines. Like sperm whales, they can also be followed by dive recorders around the fishing lines. Scientists and observers have always assumed that killer whales stayed close to the surface around fishing boats. But Canadian scientist Jared Towers, working from a different fishing boat at the same latitude, managed to tag a female killer whale in 2015. This tag showed that the whale was capable of diving to depths of 3,608 feet. Killer whales are opportunistic when they take fish from long lines. As with most predators, they prefer easy prey requiring the least effort. But Jared's tags prove they can dive to more than half a mile when they have to hunt without the help of the fishermen. Killer whales have proven that they are capable of adapting to the pressure at these depths, which is about 100 times that of atmospheric pressure. Thanks to two incredible physical adaptations. First, a network of veins called the rete mirabile covers the brain and major organs. By filling up with blood, this compensates for the crushing pressure. Secondly, their large muscle mass stores the essential oxygen that they need. So efficiently that the killer whales dive with their lungs almost empty. It's bad news for fishermen. These sleek giants are just as capable of emptying the lines at the surface. As they are at the bottom.
Damn killer whales. They won't let us fish.
But these killer whale records were meant to be broken. Just a few weeks after tagging the female killer whale, a dive recorder attached to a large male sperm whale confirmed an even more impressive dive. Over the course of 17 days of recording, the male sperm whale spent 8 days near a longliner, diving for 20-minute periods to depths of several hundred feet. The tagged whale then went to forage on its own. Staying underwater for more than an hour, it reached depths of nearly 5,000 feet. In Norway, 6 months later, Natasha Aguilar's team placed specially designed D-tags on sperm whales. These recorded dives of 6,108 feet, more than a mile. While you're watching this film, a sperm whale could be holding its breath a mile underwater in the black, icy depths of the abyss. Its goal? To hunt the giant squid. There is one species of marine mammal poised to steal that deep diving title from sperm whales, and the latest dive recording technology will prove it. Nearly 2,000 miles from South Africa and around 900 miles southeast of the Crozet Islands, the Kerguelen Islands have been used for many years as the base for a huge study of the oceans. At certain times of the year, these desolate islands are invaded by a number of marine animals that come here during mating season. And researchers are lying in wait to take advantage of the animal's short shore leave. They hope to tag one species that heaves its body ashore every spring: the elephant seal. Elephant seals are the largest seals in the world. More than 100,000 of them invade the beaches. The males arrive first, easily distinguished by the large trunk that gives them their name. Next come the females, delicate and graceful, relatively speaking when you're talking about just over half a ton of fat. They come ashore to give birth to a single offspring. A 75-pound bouncing baby covered in black fur, not adapted to water, but highly efficient for protecting them from the cold air. Amongst the skuas, the scavengers of the southern seas, the babies spend a month feeding on the animal kingdom's richest milk. It contains 14 times more fat than cow's milk. The baby builds up a layer of fat and energy that will be vital for its life in the cold water. After 23 days of nursing, the baby's body weight has tripled. During the short mating season, pups grow, females weaken, and males fight. These ritual combats are a power struggle in a bid to fertilize females. But they're a problem for scientists. Their violent fighting makes it impossible to attach dive recorders. The females are easier to approach. In the short window of just a few hours between weaning the baby and the mother leaving, the scientists need to quickly pick a female that they can crown with a tag. The ceremony follows a strict protocol. Preparation of the tranquilizer. Injection using a blowgun. Off to the land of Nod. Arrival of a stretcher specially designed for bigger-boned patients. Weighing and measuring. Determining the fat layer using ultrasound. Preparation of cocktails of glue. Placing the high-tech tiara. And finally, a blood sample for its biometric passport. Over the course of this procedure, the seal has become oceanographer number 15. After a few hours, she comes to and heads out to sea to feed. Just like the other females, she leaves on a journey that will last between 3 and 4 months. She will swim the Antarctic and subantarctic waters that are inaccessible to scientists. Armed with GPS, as well as salinity, pressure, light and temperature sensors, she and several other individuals will help answer the essential question: are the oceans undergoing a change? She drops off the radar since the data is not transmitted immediately. No one knows where elephant seals go. They've never been observed on the high seas. Until the invention of dive recorders and tracking devices, they'd only been seen during their short stays on land. To find out what female number 15 has been up to, the scientists will need to wait until the late summer when she returns to Kerguelen for the annual molt and deliver the precious data. Returning the crown is just as ceremonial. Anesthetic from a blowgun. A period of waiting to observe secondary effects. Covering the seal with a hood. Blood sample for hormones. Removal of the device. And finally, the all-important weigh-in. By combining the information from the recorders, the scientists retrace the female's steps. She swims around Kerguelen Island. She swims in straight lines but zigzags along the seabed. She dives down to nearly 4,000 feet. And finally, she sleeps underwater at depths of several hundred feet. It was thought that elephant seals didn't dive deeper than 4,000 feet until a team of Australian scientists made an unexpected discovery. By placing cameras on fishing boat longlines north of Antarctica, they received a surprising visitor at over 5,000 feet. A young male elephant seal. He could feed on the toothfish caught on the fishing hooks, but he seems more interested in the spy camera than the fish. These observations suggest that male seals dive deeper and in different territories from females. To confirm this hypothesis, scientists managed to tag males during a period when they are less boisterous, during the molting season. In order to make the tag stick, they choose an area where the old fur has already fallen off. What they were about to discover was incredible. The elephant seal covered 2,500 miles in the space of 4 months, swimming from Kerguelen straight to the edge of the Antarctic plateau. He held his breath for nearly 2 hours to feed on small squids at more than 1.5 miles beneath the surface at 7,834 feet. These extreme dives reveal other surprises. Many seal species, like sea lions, make short dives by holding as much air as possible in their lungs. Elephant seals, however, make long dives by emptying part of the air from their lungs. This allows them to avoid compressing their vital organs when the abyssal pressure is 200 times greater than our atmosphere. Their lungs are also covered in a white, oily substance that can be seen on the animal's nostrils. This substance prevents their alveoli from sticking together when their lungs are squeezed by the pressure. These adaptations are unique among marine mammals and awards the elephant seal the champion diving title of all the pinniped family. The elephant seal's deep dives also exceed all of the whales' depth records. Blainville's beaked whales dive to depths of 3,198 feet, 3 times the height of the Eiffel Tower. Killer whales over 3 times, sperm whales almost 6 times, and elephant seals more than 7 times. These amazing dives are only possible after some preliminary dives. Like yogi masters, the elephant seal and the Blainville's beaked whale allow themselves to drift several hundred feet underwater. Several scientists have an explanation for this habit of resting far below the surface. They believe that these deep, silent naps allow the animals to remain hidden from their mortal enemy, the killer whale. Certainly, killer whales rarely descend below 1,000 feet. They've been recorded at depths of 3,600 feet, but probably while hunting small, slow-moving prey like Patagonian toothfish. Capturing larger prey at great depths requires more energy expenditure from the killer whale, which would be impossible to maintain during long dives. Thanks to her D-tags, Natasha Aguilar has discovered that Blainville's beaked whales are careful to avoid being heard by killer whales during their deep dives. When it dives, the Blainville's beaked whale stays silent for the first 1,000 feet. Only then does it begin echolocating to look for prey. As it returns from the deep, it takes an indirect route, clicking until it is 1,000 feet from the surface. It ascends discreetly at an angle of 55 degrees to reduce the risk of coming into contact with killer whales. It has recently been discovered that Cuvier beaked whales also use the same strategy. On the other side of the Atlantic, Natasha Aguilar's work on beaked whales is being pursued by 2 American researchers off the coast of California. Greg Shaw and Erin Falcone are also studying the impact of sound pollution on whales. But they use different tools from Natasha. Their tags, known as limpet, were designed so they wouldn't slip on the whale's smooth skin.
This is one of our dive reporting satellite tags with the 2 darts already screwed in our sterilization tubes. So this tag would be attached to an arrow, and we would then remove the sterilization tubes, and it would be ready to deploy.
These darts attach painlessly to the whales. Also, these revolutionary tags don't need to be fished out of the water again.
This one here is a depth transmitting and location transmitting tag. It allows us to collect the depth and duration of dives and surfacing events, and then transmits that data to the satellite.
Another advantage is that they can be attached from a distance using a compressed air rifle.
Yeah, we got your text message. Animals at hydrophone 31.
Erin and Greg don't use land-based lookouts. They rely on the numerous boats in the Gulf of California to detect whales.
All right, thanks. Bye. Possible sighting, 1,000 meters. Oh, hey!
For up to 3 months, the beaked whale transmits its data by satellite. When it returns to the surface, it can recount its incredible dives.
What we're discovering through the tags that completely shatter other breath hold diving records for both duration and depth, with the longest dive lasting 164 minutes, and the deepest dive that we've recorded being just shy of 3,000 meters. It's 2,992 meters deep.
The Cuvier's beaked whale is the ultimate deep diver, capable of swimming to depths almost 10 times the height of the Eiffel Tower, 9,816 feet deep. Like us, this amazing whale is a mammal, but it looks for food nearly 2 miles below the surface, and perhaps even deeper than that. Scientists continue to discover even more astounding exploits. Perhaps another marine mammal will take the title from the Cuvier beaked whale.
I don't think so. I think those animals are ideally adapted to diving to deep ocean depths. And the more we study all marine mammals, the more we realize that we really don't know a whole lot about them. Every time we put tags out, we're likely to learn something new. We're likely to learn that they're diving deeper than we thought they were. But I think beaked whales will always be the deepest divers.
Yet new discoveries could alter the playing field. Today, most marine mammals are protected by international conventions. To manage our cohabitation with them in an ever-changing world, numerous organizations finance a growing number of studies of their behavior. For beaked whales, these studies are urgent. Their amazing diving ability is also their weak point. Amongst air-breathing mammals, they have pushed their physiology to the absolute limit. They are vulnerable to any changes that could unsettle their systems, particularly military sonar, which damages their inner ears, possibly forcing them to surface too quickly. Each new tagging expedition gives scientists the opportunity to reveal new deep diving records of the champions of the deep.